Where have you guys been? I've been sitting here for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, right.
That's what happens when we mess with the schedule, like you guys wanted.
What happened? You forget about it?
No, well, we were out and driving exceptionally quickly, and I like literally just ran through the door and fired up the computer. So
okay.
We leave. So the dry docks is going to be shut down basically from tomorrow through Friday because Jason, my shop guy, is getting married in Las Vegas, and we were invited. We're going to be witnessing the wedding. So we leave tomorrow and we won't be back till like Sunday.
Nice.
Congratulations, Jason, wherever you are.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be showing up today or not. Probably not. I'm sure he has other things on his mind right now.
Bob, I love that Gato you're doing. I was watching that build.
I know, and you said you want a hull, but you're like a decade too late.
Yeah, well, then I finally got to the beginning of it, and I saw it was from a welder, and I thought maybe it was scratch built. But yeah, really nice. It's about time you got to the pneumatics. I use the same valves and everything. That's how my periscope works.
Yep.
It works great. But one little tip: when you take it out of the water, just make sure you little WD-40 or a little oil or something on it, because I've only had it in fresh water and it gets a little bit of corrosion, and the servo works hard to break it loose.
Oh, on the valve you're talking?
On the valve, the part that slips in and out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about the actual pneumatic cylinder?
No, I've been using gas, the liquid gas, but I think I'm going to switch to the pumping it, because I'm working on my missiles, and I'm using the old system with the water and the air pressure.
Yep.
And it shoots it out, under pressure. And I charged it with a CO2 cartridge, just a little squirt. This thing went 70 feet in the air. It was amazing. So I want to kind of tone it down a little bit, and I want to try using a pump with a gauge on it and just put 40 pounds of pressure in it. But
it was probably a good idea to have a pressure gauge so that you can charge, precisely each time, as opposed to like what you feel is enough, right? For each one.
This is it, Polaris missiles.
There you go.
And how I did it was I got the quick release. I want to see if I can get these in plastic. So I took the spring out, and I mean, as soon as the servo pulls it back, it shoots out. But to not put any metal on the rocket, I casted the fitting out of plastic, so it's lighter, and the holes inside are on an angle, so it gets it spinning, and it goes nice and straight.
That is so cool. That's a great idea to use like a standard, air fitting to launch it. That's really cool.
Yeah. I wish I could get it in plastic, because this weighs a bit, but it's at the bottom of the boat, so it's acting like ballast.
Mm-hmm.
How many will you have?
Four missiles will launch. I made a dozen. But they'll float, so I'm not worried about losing them. And the tip, I made rubber, so if it does hit somebody, it won't poke through them. Maybe in one ear, out the other, but that's about it.
That's
Only
very
brain
cool.
damage, no death.
Hey, Ken, I got a question for you.
Anyway,
Skipjack,
this is the door actuator. Let's see.
on the skipjack where the dive planes come through, the little plastic piece right there, did you put any like metal sleeve in there for the start where the stern planes pivot on?
No, just the hole in the plastic.
Just used it, and If it fails, and you can go back and fix it later.
Hopefully it's not gonna fail.
Well, I mean, there ain't a lot there, but if I try to put a metal sleeve in there, I'm gonna take away what little plastic there is, though. I was
Yeah,
just-
the thing is that the styrene is so thin there.
yeah,
To have a grommet or whatever, a tube in there is kind of small, not much to anchor it to. Besides David's, what I was going after his Cabell report, is that if that's how you say it, how he built it, it's just a hole in the plastic.
okay, well, I could always put something there later, I guess.
The plastic would be really low friction, and for the amount of wear that it would see, it's only moving 60 degrees, slowly. It's not like it's spinning at 5,000 RPM, going to eat into the plastic or anything like that.
Yeah, but yeah, the concern was there's not much there, and I've never done a model like this one, other than was fiberglass.
I mean, having said that, typically I will put a bushing in, a brass bushing for anything. It just I find it eliminates a lot of the friction and gives you some more meat in there to make sure your alignment is good and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It's hard enough once you start putting the diplanes and the rudder in there and attach it to the yoke. Oh my God.
There's no room. Yeah.
Yeah, no room.
Yeah.
That's
That's
my
why I am a big sub person.
That's my next thing, is putting all the ass end stuff together. I finally got the little tits and everything, left it out in the sun enough to get the stress out of any curvature I think I've got in it.
Yeah, I think it's typical to have a warp in the one of the aft sections. I don't know if it was the top part or the bottom part, but I had a warp in it.
I hate to say this is the first one I had a warp in, and I tried to use a heat gun on it, and that was disastrous. I had to get another model. I melted it.
Bob, on the Gato or Baleo, whichever one it is, what did you use for the smoke devices? You didn't mention that in the video.
It's top secret. Yeah. So they are, if you guys haven't seen it here, if I can find it.
Yeah, I love the sound system. Oh my God.
So this is the smoke going. So these are, you can get them on eBay. They're like, I think $19 or something like that. But if you search for like nitro truck exhaust, these are like $19 or something like that. And they look like little, gosh, what are they, like thimbles basically. And they operate horizontally as opposed to a lot of these other ones that need to be vertically oriented. So I've got two of them running, one for each side. So right now it kind of looks like the model smoking like a cigar, but in the, I think in the wind, it'll look a little bit more realistic, with the exhaust wafting and the breeze, so to speak. And obviously it'll look a lot better too when it's in the water. So it'll kind of, hug the surface. And
What does it use for, I guess, the liquid?
glycerin.
Glycerin?
Yep. Yeah, it's just this standard. If you search eBay for nitro truck exhaust or nitro truck smoke, it'll pull up. It's like $20.
Right.
And they're really cool. The trick, obviously, with subs, the smoke system needs to pull air in and it needs to expel air out. And so you have to have a valve for the intake and you need to have a valve for the output. So I've got one-way valves on the output and then a snorkel valve for the intake. And then obviously you need to waterproof everything in there too. So it's not like you just kind of like pop it in. The other thing that I've experimented with that's worked really well, because I needed more smoke for something this huge, but it's the atomizers, from like water fountains and that kind of thing. super small. And if you mount them at the correct orientation just at the right water line, they'll actually put out quite a bit of vapor. And so
They
obviously you don't need to
they ran-
waterproof those.
And they ran at 12 volts.
I'm trying to remember. No, I think they ran at like 5 volts or something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
But I mean,
I've seen
obviously
some
it's
that
easy.
need 24 volts.
No, nothing,
Yeah.
nothing like that.
I have a series of fishing boats, party boats that I want to have exhaust. So
Oh, this would be perfect.
Right.
This is the same smoke system I've got in my Orca.
right. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And what about the sound system, Bob?
That was from, oh man, I would have to look back. It's the same system that Dwayne Hill put in his Corvette, the company out of Canada, Ontario.
Is it Model Sounds Incorporated?
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I've used
so.
their sound systems in planes.
Yeah. It's worked really good so far, except for the fact that I can't really turn it up past half volume. It like dies and is not working very well. So I've got to troubleshoot. I was trying to find the video that I took of the blue water boat. Why is it not here? I'll find it. Oh, it's because it's in my subsection. I think.
Yeah, I'm dying to see if these missiles will work underwater, shoot out of the water.
They should. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah. Just worried about them getting fucked when they break surface.
Oh, here we go. Is this it? Yeah. So so Randy and I have been working on this, I told you guys, this like low cost entry level boat. I didn't want to call it like a beginner boat. And so we branded it as a blue water boat. And we managed to take it out to the pool, and we've got it running on 750 kilovolt brushless motor straight. And I mean, this thing, it's like insane. It's absolutely insane. It'll launch itself out of the water, completely out of the water. But what I love about it is like, if you guys ever want, you know, the boat that you just kind of like tuck under your arm and it kind of works every time and you just don't need to worry about it. This would be it. You know, you can just like literally throw it into the water and it'll rock it around. No ballast system, just super simple. It uses our new 3-inch easy driver cylinder. And if you got a swimming pool, absolutely perfect for it. As you can see, it'll turn around in like twice its body length easily. And so
What do you have that on 2.4?
No, this one's running on 75 because obviously it's going below the surface.
Yeah, that's what I was looking.
If you throttled the motor way back, you could probably you know, keep it on the surface enough to use 2.4. But what would be the fun with that, really?
Yeah.
So you know, I'm just thinking I can't wait to bring this to Kahata. You know, it's maybe it's a bit of a ringer for running the obstacle course. I don't know. The challenge would be keeping it under the water, I think. I don't know. But I'm guessing it'll do at least 10 or 12 miles an hour easily. And so this was the prototype. I've got the new files that Randy sent that are going to be like the production version that we're going to do a build-up video on. And the other thing I love about it, obviously, is you can. It's so versatile. You could make it 6 feet long, or you can make it like this one. It's basically, you know, like 2 feet long. You can have a deck on it, or you can have it a smooth deck, or long tower, short tower, whatever kind of turns your crank. So yeah, super cool. I'm looking forward to getting that done.
The cylinder hold downs on that, did they look like they were gonna work?
I think so. So I just finished printing those. I haven't had a chance to like mate it to the cylinder yet, but I mean, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. The crazy thing about this, we had like a pin mounted to the cylinder itself in this boat, and there was so much torque coming from that brushless motor, it would keep shearing the pin off and spin the cylinder inside the boat. So we think we got it licked now.
Well, with that design that there was, I left it kind of loose, so it might twist a little bit, but it's not gonna be much.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You know, it's all about the hold down in there. We'll get it figured out in the production version for sure.
Sounds good.
What I was getting at though is this isn't just a beginner boat. It's for somebody that just wants like a fun boat, you know, something just to tear around. And Randy designed an open front, so if you want to mount a camera in the front, it has an opening in there to mount. I'm going to design a mount for the Ion wireless HD camera, so it'll just like slip in there. You turn it on, bomb around, and then download it afterwards. That would be some pretty cool footage with that kind of speed. And then I think the only other thing we got going, today, we've got there's a 214 from Dwayne that we got all set up. So hopefully first thing next week, it's all set up. We just need to do wet trials. Monday, we're going to have the wet trials of that 214 from Yanis out of Greece, if you guys are familiar with his products. Beautiful, beautiful boats. It looks like Saturday is our day, hey? We've got what, like 12 people here on the Monday? I know I sent my notice out late, but.
Yeah, but it was on the calendar.
I know it was on the calendar, but apparently that doesn't matter.
Well, you know, you were a little late. So I go to Ed. I called Ed and I said, Ed, is this? He goes, no, Thursday, Admiral. I said, it says Monday on the calendar.
And my last notification email has not only the current one, but the next one, which I didn't do today because I was in a rush to get it out. But so you can tell when the next one's coming up.
Yeah, you know those. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm going to try like crazy to get up to Carmel in August.
I had another question, I guess. Sorry, Frank.
That's okay.
On the sturgeon piece, ass end you sent me, Bob, is that supposed to be a mushroom anchor? Because sturgeon.
Yeah, I think it is supposed to be. I'm not sure. I think I caught flack from somebody saying that it wasn't supposed to be there, or it was in the wrong spot.
Well, sturgeons didn't have mushroom anchors on them, or at least the one I was on didn't have them. So I was just asking, just to make sure.
This is a special one, Ernie.
Oh, okay. Okay. Russell was special. That's right. I forgot. Dick Dickey before he dicks you.
If you don't like it, sand it off. Jesus
I
Christ.
was going to. I was just asking.
Remember last meeting, I was asking you about the louvers on the Seaview.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you got a ways to go before you get to that. So I started carving my own, and They didn't come out bad. I don't know if you can see them.
They look
But
good, yeah.
I went to make a mold over it, and 3 times it didn't cure where it was touching the master. So I don't know what the hell is going on, but I mean, it's not like I've never made a mold before. I've made them for, God, 15 years I've been making them. So I got to figure this out, but they came pretty good. And then when yours comes out, I'll take yours.
Okay. By the way, I don't have a full day today. We still need to finish packing because we fly out at like 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I can turn the reins over to like Steve or another responsible individual to keep the conversation going in my absence. But I got maybe like another 5 minutes. I'll probably have to go.
I have a hard stop too. I've got a daughter that wants me to take her to get ice cream.
Where the hell are your priorities? Jesus.
I know. This was sprung on me at the last minute. And I was like, well, I have a meeting first. So I did make it a priority.
Bob, if I wanted to make a scratch-built Gato, where would I get lofting, prints with all the lofting on it and the sections and the the bulkheads, so I can make it fairly scale?
Yeah.
Is there a
so
place you could?
This is a super good question. The thing that really baffles me a lot is the fact that the Gato or Gato, does anybody know for sure? Is it Gato or Gato?
Who
I always
cares?
said Gato.
Gato, okay. Obviously one of, if not the most recognizable submarines of the US Navy of all time, certainly in World War II. But for whatever reason, it seems like there's not a lot of like readily available information out there, and I don't know why. And even you would think from our hobby perspective, there would be more manufacturers making kits, of the Gatos. But they're just not. I think there's like the scale shipyard version, there's the angle version, the Revell version, and that's really all and then 32nd parallel, obviously, from the 1990s. But it's just, for whatever reason, I don't think it's getting the recognition that it deserves. But back to your point, Frank, I think, somebody like Matt Thor, who I'm working with on creating that hyper accurate 48 scale Gato kit, would have that information. Now, whether or not he's at liberty to divulge, because I know he's been supplied some reference material under, promise or whatever, not to divulge, but you could potentially reach out and see if that existed. And I think, depending on where Randy's at, I know he started work on a Gato. You could probably create loftings from that, but I am not aware of like a ship model builder's quality set of plans that you could create a hull from.
Yeah, I mean, I could make a mold over the Revell model and just slice it up at different points and make my own stations. But who the hell wants to go through all that?
You could check with Floating Dry Dock or Lee Upshaw and warship models underway.
Okay.
There are some plans out there. They're really good ones. I'm just trying to find them here. And the way I would have found them would just been Google Gato blueprints or Gato drawings.
I tried that. Yeah.
And I have like an unbelievable set of them, but I can't remember where I get them. So if I can remember where I got this from, I mean, they're not very clear, but I mean, they're as good as I can find on the internet.
Yeah.
Next DiveTribe, I'll let you know. I'll look for them and see. And as far as the 3D print, Bob, I work on it, and then the next sub comes along, and I get sidetracked.
No, I understand.
Squirrel,
I can't remember where you're at right now, but I had somebody reach out and say they wanted a Columbia. I talked to Steve about that this morning. They wanted the hypothetical, authoritative version of Columbia, which, and maybe Steve, you know this, to me, it just looks like an Ohio with an X-tail, like, and a pump jet. Like the nose looks the same, the deck looks the same, the sail looks the same, like.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Ohio got together with the Virginia or Seawolf, and you put an X-tail on it, and that's what you got,
Yeah. Like I was for this guy I was telling you about, I was seriously thinking about just taking my Ohio files and, stylizing the sail and putting an X-tail on it and calling it done. And a pump jet. And nobody can tell me no, because nobody has any plans, so.
Right.
Oh, Bob, we were talking about me switching over to the nickel metal hydride batteries.
Yep.
Just for shits and giggles, I took my 6-volt batteries that were on the sides of my sub, and originally I had planned to put them right on the keel. And for some strange reason, I laid them out on top of my ballast tank, underneath, put the cover on, and they fit. So now they're laying right on the keel, all the way on the bottom.
Yeah.
So that'll get rid of a lot of lead, and it'll lower the center of gravity a lot.
Yep. Which honestly though, Frank, which is good. Obviously that's a good thing, but for your boat and for any dual shaft boat, it's far less important than with a single shaft boat, because those contra rotating props, they don't have that torque induced roll that would impact a boat. And so you don't have to counteract that torque moment with the huge difference, that huge moment of riding with the ballast and the flotation. Always a good thing to have, but it's not as imperative.
Yeah, I was just trying to get rid of a lot of the lead because it was approaching 80 pounds of boat.
Yeah, have you worked out of curiosity, because I need to figure this out for the Vallejo, like a launch mechanism, or are you just gonna like manhandle it?
Oh, yeah, that's a whole science in itself. I took a 10-foot ladder, aluminum ladder, and I cut it, and I put wheels on one side. So when you come up against the bulkhead, and it's got a cradle on it with the submarine, when you're against the bulkhead, you just put it on top of the bulkhead, slide it in, and kind of seesaw it down till she's in the water. Now, when you come back, there's 2 little yellow balls to say that show the outsides of the ladder, and this thing you just drive up, then push down on the seesaw, and you pick it up out of the water and just slide it right back out again. If you're at the beach in the sand, you just roll it into the water on its wheels.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I think you inspired me, was grabbing a section of like aluminum step ladder with some removable like 10-inch wheels or something like that,
right?
To get it in and out. But this boat I don't think is going to be too bad. It's not a dry hull boat, but it'll probably still wind up at 50 or 60 pounds, I'm thinking. But obviously when it's wet, it'll be significantly more than that. So
yeah, and if you got to bend over a bulkhead, you break your back, trying to not fall in.
Yep.
And the ladder I used, I wound up with folds. It's one of those ones that'll fold, like, so you can go on top of stairs. It folds up into 4 feet, so I can transport it, and it works out really great.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see what I can come up with.
I found the drawings for the USS Pampanito. I don't know if I pronounced that right. But the drawings they have are incredible. If you got a pen and paper, I'll give you the website. It's kind of a long one. Sorry.
I'm ready.
Okay. Maritime.org /tech, TECH
What do you mean backslash? Like,
Like
the
a-
one under the question mark.
Like a
on the
backslash, yeah.
typewriter.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
.org /TECH
/drawings with an S on the end,
okay.
/index.htm.
HT is in Tom.
Yep.
Okay.
M,
Okay.
and then the number sign,
Okay.
lines, LINES. They've got every drawing of, like, check it out, you'll like it.
Okay. Are these all capitals or all small letters, or don't make a difference?
Everything's
It
small.
shouldn't matter,
lowercase.
Frank.
Okay.
If you don't, if you didn't get it written down or you can't get to it, just reach out to me through the forums or somehow, and I'll send it up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. You'll like it.
I put part of the link in chat.
Cool. Thanks.
I saw that. Thanks, Ken.
All right, well, I am gonna slip out unless you guys have another question for me, but if there's gonna be anybody hanging out here till the end of the conversation, I can turn ownership over to you. Volunteers? No?
I'll take ownership. I don't care.
All right,
Never
Ken.
done it before.
Well, you don't need to do anything. You just need to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm going to be out for the next like 5 days, but if there's anything imperative, text or email is the best way to get a hold of me, and talk to you guys in a little bit.
Okay. Be safe.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye. I got a kick out of it when
You're on mute, Ken.
Sorry. I bought these subsea batteries for a surface boat. I made 4 packs of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cells. And after about, I guess, 5 or 6 years, some of the cells started going. I don't think it had anything to do with soldering the tabs. You have to be careful about, you know, what you're doing there with the soldering. I could see some corrosion on some of them. That could be age. So, you know, for what that is worth. You know, so I went to, instead of having 4 of these, which are quite heavy, I went to some sealed lead acid. It's a 4.5 foot long boat.
yeah, these are mine. They're laying up
Yep.
on the keel. So it's going to make a lot of difference than from sitting up against the sides. So, and they're 6 volt, so they gang together 2 and 2 to make 12 volt.
Right.
And I got a kick out of Bob when he said, that's why I build big, so I have plenty of room. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, I see that.
Looks like you're running out.
There's no room.
Wow.
Steve's boat looks nice and empty. Where's Steve? He's gone. Oh,
Yeah,
there
he
you
went
are.
to get ice.
No,
Went to get ice cream.
Yeah, Steve's boat was nice and empty inside.
With those ballast tanks and watertight boxes, yeah, there's a lot of empty space in there.
You know, this was all hit and miss with me. It's my first time. So my ballast tank is 4 feet long. And then here in the back, I've got about an 18-inch accumulator tank. So when I push the water in, it has a spot for, you know, to compress. So I really don't need something to blow it out. it'll get me to the surface just by opening up the valve and letting the water rush out because of pressure. But I have a pump to pump water out. So I have 2 pumps. That's right. I don't know if you can see them.
Are those
Yeah,
are those all waterproof servos?
Yes, and the pumps are waterproof also. They're all in the wet.
One day,
Frank, are you
Frank, you're
gonna be
gonna
ever-
have to get it wet.
It
Yeah,
did get wet. It's been in the water. It worked beautiful.
you got to get it in water that's over a foot deep.
It was 2 feet deep, Ken.
Okay.
And
He's trying
another
real
thing,
hard.
yeah. Another thing I did was I took the antenna and on the back of the conning tower, I mounted a car antenna and it's hollow. And I took the radio antenna and put it inside that and just let the 1 1/4 inch stick up above. So now when I transport this thing, I can just push it down and it won't get hurt. When I'm in the water, I can pull it up to about 18 inches. So I can actually submerge 18 inches or, any place in between that.
I know you said you put your real boat in the water, but are you still going to be able to get to Groton one day?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like looking less and less possible.
Okay.
So, yeah, that it's just a bad time of year. Here's that antenna I was talking about. So this is it right. I don't know if you can see it. That's it right here. And then I can pull this all the way up. If you can see it over here. Oh, there we go. Or I can push it all the way down. And the radio antenna is in that. It's not in there now, but it sticks up like this much. So in transporting it, I don't have to worry about breaking anything off. But when I'm in the water, I don't have to show the top of the conning tower breaking surface. I can go down 2 inches or 18 inches. So.
And the antenna will hold to the pressure of the water as the boat's moving forward?
Yeah, it's strong, really strong. And it's in that conning tower really well. Yeah, this isn't a ballistic missile. I don't expect it to go fast. Not like that German guy that was at Groton that time. That thing was a missile.
That's
I just want to go. Yeah, I just want to go a scale speed.
All I can say, if anyone has that super fast sub, when we go to Atlanta, to Georgia, I'm not putting my boat in there. If someone hits me at that speed, it's
that
gonna be
thing
gone.
I helped him carry that boat in and out one time. That thing weighs 1 million pounds. It's a dry boat.
Which boat was that?
His types. It was a German boat, but it was more modern. I don't know if he said it was a Type 12. I don't know.
Oh, was that Johan?
Johan's boat, yeah.
That's a Type 21.
21, that's it. And that thing was heavy. I had to be over 100 pounds.
He's the one that he transports it on the roof of his car.
Yep, with bungee cords.
Yeah. Actually, David, he was at the Shrewsbury thing that time when we were there.
Oh, was he the guy with the
He had he didn't have
German
the
sub?
he didn't have the 21, but he had a different one. I didn't notice which one it was, but he had that in the pool.
Oh yeah, because he was having trouble with it. I remember.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with when I went out to try my Japanese I-19 sub, and I was all confident. I took it out there. I set it in the water. It was heavy, and then when I got done playing with it, I went to take it out of the water. I couldn't lift it out of the water. It was so heavy, I couldn't lift it out.
Yep. Well, his is a dry sub, so he's got to compensate for all that air in there with weight, and that was a heavy boat.
Dwayne, how's yours coming along?
It's getting there. I finally got the stern planes all done in now on the Jimmy Carter it was a pain in the butt to get the all four of the control surfaces back there lined up. But once I got it, that took me about 3 days to do all that. There's a little bit of frustration. It's like, okay, what's not working here? I put the dive cylinder in back in the other day, and I hooked it all back up with the magnetic coupling there. And when it goes to full rise, it's about a 1/32 of an inch gap between the two magnets. But they stay aligned. But Dave showed me how to put a little, like a connecting bar in there.
Right.
So that way they won't pull away too far, and they come back and they connect again. So,
Yep, they got a loop on either side, and it drops down, and they connect.
right, yeah, yeah. And right now, what I'm trying to do now is to help me out with steering, because I know Dave's Seawolf, he put a little piece of clear plastic on the bottom rudder to help it steer. I'm like, I took the rudders and remolded them, and then the new mold piece, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna cut it vertically, add 3/8 of an inch to it, and we'll add a 1/4 inch in height to it to give a little bit more rudder surface on both lower and upper. So hopefully that will help it turn a little bit better.
Good deal. You have
Yeah,
it in the water with one of your aircraft carriers, there'll be a little bit out of scale.
Well, they're all on the same scale.
Oh, are they?
Yep, they're all 96 scale.
Oh. That'll
Yeah,
be
the carriers are
something.
11.5 foot.
Wow.
So they weigh 245 pounds in the water.
Wow.
So, but by the time you take they both take two 12-volt 25 amp hour batteries in them, which there's about 14 to 16 pounds a piece, and about another 80 pounds on top of that.
Wow.
You're gonna have to
it's a little-
register it.
Yeah, it's a little logistics nightmare, but like I said, go big or go home. That's why I'm doing the Jimmy Carter, because she's something different than the other boats you don't normally see.
What do you got, a trailer?
have found-
You got a trailer to transport them?
Yep, I got a 16-foot trailer that's 7 foot wide and 7 foot tall. And I got a shelf built in there so I can put other boats on top of that. I got like 22 surface models,
Oh, boy.
but I've been finding more stuff out on the par sheet now too. I'm just waiting to get another 637 hull to get that project going too. I have
Yeah.
found out that she does have that lower unit on her, like some of the drawings show. I have actual photo of her, that section sitting in dry dock, and it shows that bottom section. So that'd be
David probably has a lot of pictures that he doesn't show of some of these boats.
he let me look at his files when I was up there. He didn't have nothing on that. I had to find that on NavSource while I was up there, and I showed it to him. So he said, like, okay, that's interesting. But yeah, that'd be my next project. Something different from what the other guys have. The spook boats, I guess you call them.
The what boats?
Spook.
Spook boats? Yeah.
Yeah, spy boats that we have. They go out and do all these little operations.
Yep.
So every crew member on board has those real high security clearances, even to cook. But that's something I like to do when I do my models. I like to do something that's a little bit different than what everyone else has within the class of ships.
What do some of your surface boats? I mean, the carriers do anything but except for anything just beyond driving around? Sailing around?
Pretty much driving around. I got I want to have all the radars rotating. So there'll be about 6 radars rotating on her. When I can get with the Navy and get someone in the Navy to cooperate, I want to try to have a sound system on board to have all the jet sounds and helicopters and all like that, and some of the communication calls that they do out for the flight deck stuff.
Yeah.
I like to have that done. And maybe a catapult where the jet blast deflectors come up.
Right.
I'd like to try to do that, but as far as no launching or anything like that, plane's too small for that. I'm working with a guy right now trying to to 3D print all the aircraft for me. So,
Yeah, what was it? I have a 112 scale, fishing boat, and the people on there would be about a 6-foot person would be about 3 inches, but 2 3/4 would be good. But you can't find anything online that's just normal people, a variety of people, a variety of styles, of
Right.
kids, women, guys, and the ideal thing would be 3D print. I'm not there. I don't even have a printer, but David, we
Right.
talked about that, and it's they have these scanners. You can scan people and then maybe print them, but you
Yep.
said they were not that accurate.
well, my guy's gonna be doing my 3D printing for me. He's getting the scanner here soon. And I got one of those 3D masks from Shapeways, my buddy did.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna have him take that. We're gonna set it up for him to scan it and get a better quality of print.
Right.
I have, let's see, between his Burke model and mine, we have 5 Arleigh Burke's destroyers to build. That'd be Flight 1s, 2s, 2As, and the Flight 3 is coming out. I got some information on the Flight 3 finally.
Where do you run then? Is that in North Carolina?
Now, what? Yeah, once a year in October, we go to North Carolina and run.
All right.
That's like, I think this year is October 8th and 9th, somewhere around there,
Right.
right around Columbus Day.
We're at North Carolina.
That's in Rocky Mount at City Lake.
Okay, I know where that's at. I'm in Voss right now.
It's a pretty good run. The group of us, once in a while, we'll take the boats and we'll go all the way around the lake with the models. There's a walk bridge that goes over the lake a little bit, over to a little island. The bridge is about 6 inches above the mast of my carriers for me to go underneath them.
Mhm.
But there's enough room to clear.
What do you got going on, Andrew?
So I got super tied up with work. I'm sure everybody saw everything that's going on in the news. So that's kept me pretty busy. But I was finally, I'm just waiting on my cylinder to come in from Bob to finish out the Type 7. And I started reprinting out the Alpha, but I finished weathering it. I'll show you what it looks like real quick. Let's figure out how to change the camera around. So yeah, I finally got it weathered out and it got there. It was a beast.
How long is that?
55 inches.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. This is my first best. It'd be nice.
Where's the hull from?
It was one I picked up from Bob when I came down there when they were doing the trim party.
Oh,
Model.
okay.
That's what I gotta learn how to do, is all that weathering.
I just honestly, I watched a lot of YouTube videos of Bob doing it, and then did some looking around online and kind of taught myself. Turned out okay.
Same here.
I'm a believer in a fresh hull, new paint job, straight out of dry dock.
So I was actually snooping around at the 82nd Museum on the other side of Post, and they actually had some pictures when they hit the sub pins, and those boats were like super battered from being in the Atlantic. So I tried to mimic that with this. So I made it as weathered as I could without.
Yeah, I kind of finished up on this. I wasn't going to show anything, let David see it, but if you, I don't know if you probably can't see it, but it has the oil can effect on the sail.
Yeah.
And then of course, all the what below the water line and all that, and on the upper part of the deck and all. So, all the streaking. So first time I did it, first time I used an airbrush.
Yep, me too. First time, it turned out pretty decent. Did you get your lights running and everything too?
The lights on this?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I saw what Dave Merriman did with the screen on his that one haul he's been working on. We get like the Anacoke tile look to it. That looked pretty neat.
So the top of my sail's held on by magnets. So it's on there pretty solid. So this will come off. Then I have this submarine beacon. This manually extends, and there's a little lever here that locks it in the up position. So that's locked up. You can probably, can you see it at all?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I have, where the hell is it? I made it, a brass periscope. On the bottom of it has a magnet. And when you drop this in, the running lights come on. I got the.
That's cool.
Wow.
These here, there's a little lever on here. They'll actually manually pop out. And then I have the LED here, and then on the rudder. But then
Here I'm super happy. I just got my red, green, and whites going.
yeah, you can see the submarine beacon blinking away. And with that, I have in the hull, I have the Blue Beetle, which is something that Ed Tortle turned me on to.
What did you use for the flashing light on the sub ID beacon?
I'm sorry?
For the sub ID beacon, what are you using? Is that one of MCD's things or what is it?
They are those Lints LEDs. There's two of them there. They're put back to back and they're dipped in epoxy. I dipped it in epoxy 3 times to build it up. And it's just 2 LEDs that are in there.
Yeah, but what makes it flash to 3 flashes?
That's the Blue Beetle. If you
Okay.
look up Blue Beetle, it's an Arduino type board that's about 1 inch by inch. And I made a plastic acrylic case with an end cap on it, and I got a couple of holes with wires just popping out of it. So it's waterproof.
Okay, is it blue neat? Okay. That's
See if
that
I
one
can-
up.
Let me see if I can show a picture. I never showed a picture before. Share. Let
Yeah,
me
I
see
don't
how
know
I can do this. I never did this. I'm not sure.
Well, that go on the boards and post a link on it.
It's almost like the box the acrylic box I made, it's 1/16 acrylic. It's almost like a Tic Tac box
Right.
and just has 4 like 30 thousandths holes drilled through it for the wires to pass through.
Oh.
Mhm. Maybe you could post a link on the boards for something
Yeah. After Groton.
after Groton. No problem.
Yep.
Hey, Ken, you know what I did with my LEDs, my navigation lights? I got a larger one and I carved them so that they're not just something round. They look like the real submarine ones that are, they're only supposed to show a certain amount of degrees. So, and that's what I did. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
hard.
I thought about making it look more realistic, but when I have those on, basically the boat's going to be running in the dark.
Yeah, and they're so
And
bright. Yeah.
You're not going to see it. And when the
Yeah.
boat's in the water, you're, over 10 feet away from it. So you're not going to see that it's really not scale.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
If
Frank,
I remember in the Lafayette class, the submarines, we had to push those out. We look at it, had to be inside the sail and they had like a clamp and you had to push the damn lights out.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was either a Lafayette or a 637. I can't remember which one it was. It had to be the Lafayette class. There was one of them I had as a lookout. We had to crawl inside the sail where the lights were and move a handle over it and push them out.
Well, this is, I have 2 different diameter of square tubing in there, and the whole thing is about 5/8 of an inch long. and the outer one has a hole in it for the wires to pass, and it has a screw on it that lets the it sits like this, that lets it push out and push both sides out with a lever that's in there. And then the inner one is has a hole in it for an LED on each end, and it just slides in and out of that outer tube, you know. And it's it's so small that I can't handle it with my fingers.
How about putting a picture of your how you got the magnets on your cell, Ken, on the forum if you can get a chance?
Okay. Yeah, next week after
Thinking about doing that, and I just hadn't figured out how I was going to do that. I didn't know whether to make it too top heavy or what. Because I'd like to be able to take it, just permanently mount some antennas on one and make a mold with another one, and just be able to take that on and off.
So I carved this. This is the mast that came with this kit, right?
Yeah.
All right. I carved my own. I just built up a couple layers of styrene. I built and carved out my own. And then on the bottom here are the two magnets. They're 1/32 inch thick, and they are 1/4 inch square. So I have two of them there. And then I don't know if you can see, but right here are the two receiving magnets.
Okay.
So, and this,
I did something similar with my deck gun. I reprinted the gun and
it's on
put it
there
back.
pretty solid. What's that, Andrew?
Oh, I did something similar with the deck gun. I did a magnetic switch at the base of the deck gun. So as soon as you drop the deck gun in, then that's what hits the.
Right.
So it makes it super easy when you're like, yeah. So I just reprinted it up, and then now the deck gun just comes out. You just snap it in and hits the switch, and
Oh, nice.
And to glue the magnets, I found that CA doesn't really help. You have to, you know.
Oxy does good.
Yeah, I use something called G-Flex epoxy, and that works great.
Yeah, and those magnets don't weigh a whole lot either. They're really lightweight.
Right.
Just when you do it, you put your first set of magnets in, then you put the magnets that be in the top of the sail, you put them on top of those, mark the one side with a black marker, permanent marker, and those go upwards. That way your magnetic attraction still stays the same way.
Right. Yeah, you got to make sure you get the polarity right of the magnets.
Yeah. Yeah, you go put your sail top on and you go shooting off in your hand. I did my carrier deck hatches. I did them with all magnets to hold them down.
Where'd you get the G-Flex from?
I think I got it from West Marine, but it's available on Amazon.
Okay. Thanks.
Big question for you guys. Silicone grease. Is there any recommendations for certain type of silicone grease for the O-rings?
For the O-rings on the thing, I have a
Yeah,
tube, but I've always been using white Teflon grease. That's what I use.
You was white Teflon grease?
Yeah.
I know Dave used the lithium or the silicone grease. That's why I was kind of asking.
Yeah, I got a tube of lithium as well, but I use the silicone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the Teflon.
I know those gotta be greased up every once in a while when you use the boat, or every time.
Yeah, especially the ones that I have two boats, and the Marlin has a 2.5 inch sub driver, and it has a single O-ring on it. This guy has two O-rings, and it's a pain in the ass to get apart.
Yeah, that's what they did in mine. Both end caps are double O-rings.
Yeah. But I took this is just a piece of aluminum. It's actually what's left of a doorbell. I just rounded the end, and you know, the watertight compartment in here is David's version. So the old version. So he has that little notch in there. So this fits in there really well that I can twist it and it
That's cool.
pops it out.
Yeah, I've been using one of my wide flat screwdrivers.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to start chewing up the resin, the resin end cap,
Right.
because the
that's
square
not ideal,
the screwdriver will start doing that with the sharp
Yeah.
edges on it.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. I'll have to get my father-in-law and make a tool like that.
Yeah.
Nice thing about having a follow that has a mill and lathe and all like that. Could go there and play once in a while.
Yeah, I have one bandsaw that has a metal blade in it and one for wood cutting. So I just notched the end out of that and filed it round.
Right.
Yeah, that's the way to go. I hate changing blades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have the old Craftsman, and I replaced it with a Grizzly one, and I'm like, what do I do with the old one? Then I finally realized I use it for metal cutting.
Yeah.
I got metal cutting blade in it.
Yeah,
I don't do a whole lot of metal work.
The blade in my bandsaw is cut so much plastic and Lexan and metal that it won't cut wood. Not very
Okay,
well.
guys, I gotta go. I'll see y'all next time.
Take care, Ernie.
Okay, bye.
Hey, Ken, I won't be going to Groton because I have to help my mother move this week, the weekend of the Groton now, because I had to go to the funeral this week over the weekend, and I was supposed to help my mom move on Saturday and Sunday, but I had to shift it. So, and I was hoping to go because I found out that I wouldn't need to contact the base. Well, I need to contact the base, but just a day in advance and give them my name and my federal ID PIV card number, and then they would let me in then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did
because I
all
work for the federal government. I already was checked by the FBI, so it's
right.
it's.
Lucky you.
I wonder if I can do that with my postal ID.
You might be able to.
I already have a military ID, so.
But you're lucky.
Yeah.
Where are you at, Andrew?
Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, that Groton run for me, that's a little bit of a long trip for me from Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just the wrong time of year for me.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that too.
Well, Frank, are you going to go to Subfest? End of
Um,
September, third week in September.
we'll see.
It's a long ride.
Yeah, I know. 10
We
hours.
do it in 2 days. We stop halfway. We stopped halfway at Roanoke and then finished up the next day.
If I do it, and that's a big if, I might. Brian was talking about maybe sharing a ride, and we rent a van and do it that way.
Yeah, you'll need it.
We'll load up our stuff, but that it's a long way off, and it's a big if.
Mm. It'd be a good place to run.
Oh yeah, I love that. When I see those pictures, that thing is beautiful, better than a pool.
Yeah. Well, I won't make this September's run, but I won't definitely make it next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely slate 1 year at least to make it there. Maybe when I'm up to two subs.
Okay, you're gonna what's the next one again?
20,000 Leagues Nautilus.
Okay, and you have the hull for it, but you didn't start on it, right?
Right. There's not much working stuff on that, so that shouldn't take. I'm making it really simple. I don't know if you ever seen Ed's inside of Ed's boat and Ray's boat on their what the hell boats are they? The one Ed won last year with. It was so dependable and everything. The Albacore.
Okay.
Is that what? It's just going to be really simple. The Nautilus. The only things that are going to work are maybe those breather things, and that's about it. And lights.
Lights.
Yeah, that whole boat is the paint job.
Yeah.
So, and the hull I got is really, really nice. I just have to squeeze it together because apparently it like went out a little bit and those side windows aren't vertical. They're a little bit askew. So
Mhm.
I've got them clamped right now. I'm going to put some heat on them and see if I can get them in, but it's going to be an easy one.
Yeah, Bob had a video where he cut the domed lights, the domed viewing ports, I guess, on it.
Yeah.
You know. So
Well, we had to do something similar to the Jimmy Carter's top half. With David there. Yeah, take a board, put 2 boards on each side, right down the line for the width of the hull. And we put the whole top half upside down in it. After we roughed it all up, put a thin layer of fiberglass in it, laid it all up, and then we put heat lamps on it all night long. It came back in shape pretty good for us.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to Steve because he did the same. He's got the same hull. Only a forklift went through his, but I wanted to see if he had that problem and you know, with it being spread out and how he got it back and how he made it so it doesn't go out again. I have some idea. Right now I got a threaded rod going through the thing with the board on each side and some wing nuts, and I just tightened it up to pull it in, and I'm going to try hitting it with a heat gun so that it maybe keep that memory a little bit until I can make it permanent.
Well, what David me did, he had a couple of those red heating lamps like you see like in Arby's heat up the food.
Yeah.
We had 2 of those on top above the hull all night long.
Okay. Nice and gentle.
Yeah, some of those like the swing mount lights. He had a whole built in the bench, mounted them, and then we just had those not too close, but not too far away. Just enough you feel some warmth there.
Yeah.
Let them on all night long.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't sleep that night.
Dave had no problem. He went right to bed, and no problem. I went to bed because I was tired. That 11 and a half hour drive to Dave's was quite long.
Yeah, I used to like to drive, but not anymore. Too many nuts on the road.
I always get stuck.
I like
I always
driving
get
at night.
stuck. I always get stuck behind some slow driver.
That's
Even
why they
when I
got
get-
2 lanes. Go around them.
Yeah, well, you got the even slower drivers driving in the slow lane, you know, then you got the slow drivers driving in the fast lane.
And then
Yeah.
you got the ones that aren't even watching the road. They're just looking at their phone.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
every-
day, my last day at Dave's there. Got about 6:30. I think I left his house at just a little bit before 2. I stopped at the Wisconsin Museum for 2.5 hours. Then I left from there and drove all the way home straight. I got home next morning about 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
I just stopped at the rest areas, stretched out, got a drink, kept some high Mountain Dews once in a while, some sodas to keep me going. And
There you
but
go.
I find it easier driving at night because you got less people on the road then.
Yeah. I believe that. That's time to go food store too.
I think I actually drive of drives in March, right before the Trim Fest. I flew out to Arizona to pick up my new truck and then drove Friday night, Saturday, made it to the Trim Fest, picked up the boat from Bob, put it in the truck, and then drove all the way to North Carolina that night.
Wow.
That was
I guarantee you're probably younger than me.
as young as I was. That was rough, but at least I got my boat.
Well, that's the same way with me, man. I wanted my sub because Steve was working on it, but I had to go down to Florida, down near Cape Canaveral, and then I drove back up, and I had to drop people off in Pennsylvania. Then I went to bed for like 3 hours, got up, and drove down to Georgia to Subfest. I looked terrible. Everyone said I looked terrible, like The Walking Dead. But hey, at least I got there, and I wasn't able to get there on Saturday, but I got there on Sunday, and but hey.
I called Bob on Friday, like as soon as I landed in Phoenix, and I was like, hey, I just landed. I was like, hey, put in the order real quick. And he's like, hey, is there anything else? And I was like, yeah, just bundle it all together. I'll pick it up Saturday.
That's dedication.
All right, guys, I gotta go. The wife is calling.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I gotta eat dinner.
Until the next time.
Okay.
See you later.
Hopefully, I'm getting my tank ready in the garage, so hopefully it'll be soon. You'll be seeing pictures of it in the water. Ken.
How deep is the tank?
It's 2 feet deep, 2 feet wide, 10 feet long. I made it out of plywood, and then I just took the plastic that they shrink wrap boats in. I just put it in as a liner and filled it up. It worked beautiful.
I got
this year I might fiberglass it just to make it stronger, and then I won't need the liner.
You know, you can get.
I got to build myself a test tank for my ships too.
You know, you can go to Tractor Supply and get a cattle trough out of plastic by Rubbermaid for like $50, and they're
but
like,
they only come up to 8 feet. They're only 8 feet. I need 8.5.
oh,
I researched it already. It wouldn't fit. I thought they would make at least a 10-foot one.
thought they.
Well, that steel tank's a little hard to move around.
I was ready to buy a metal one. Those feeding troughs.
I just put a plastic one in the backyard. It's great for the dogs and my testing out my boat.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's nice to have big, but I don't build anything over 4 feet anymore.
Lucky you.
I think I'll stick at 70 inches and down.
Well,
No,
I
like
here at my girlfriend's house, we have a stairwell that goes up this way, a flight of stairs, then it turns and goes up this way. So I'm limited really too on how long of a boat I can have. The ones that I have that are 4.5 feet are, it's hard enough to go up the stairs.
Yeah.
So what I really want to get done before Subfest is one of the Virginia class boats, because I have a personal relationship with one of them, and it's 172nd. So it's gonna be a little bit. Get working. Yep.
You got a lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah, hopefully I can get it.
Take care.
Night.
All right. I'm ready to go too. Anybody else?
Yeah, me too.
I'm ready to go myself.
All right.
When is Groton? Anybody know?
When is Groton?
Yeah.
This
This
Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah, this Friday we're meeting for dinner, and then on Saturday and Sunday we're running boats.
Okay, I can probably make it up for Saturday, but yeah, I'm not going to have a running boat by then unless Bob can get my cylinder out this week.
Right. Ray said there's 26 people that are signed up. I'm sure Frank signed up, but it sounds like he's not going to go. So who knows how many he's going to show.
Okay.
So,
I remember this once when I was stationed up there many years ago.
I'm sorry?
Back in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah. Way before my time.
Yeah, I was stationed up there. So I hadn't run into him one day. It's like, wow, this is cool. So I gave 2 or 3 guys a tour of my sub at that time.
We don't have many people from the base that come and check us out.
That's a shame.
It's the weekend. When it's the weekend, yeah, we stay away from like work. It's the weekend for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I remember right, the base didn't really advertise it when I was back up there, and that was, like I said, in the early 90s. So
right,
they don't advertise, hey, come see the model subs. No
right.
one's going to show up.
Although last year we did have the base commander show up with his kids and 1 or 2 other people, so that was nice. But he's no longer the base commander. Yeah,
because the pond you guys are used is for the officers. So the enlisted tend to stay away from that area. So
well, when one year, I think it was about 2015 or 16, I guess it's guys on the base, they were doing obstacle course and pulling and I don't know, all kinds of things in the sand on the other side of the lake. you know, so they were out there. I actually have it in the video from that time that I got on YouTube. So that was interesting. So you can hear them shouting and grunting in the background.
Well, like I said, I'll never be able to make that run, but I'll definitely make Subfest next year. So
Yeah,
maybe I'll have two by then.
hopefully.
Yep.
So,
Got too many.
Well, I got me another radio for another sub, so I got lucky there.
mhm.
72 megahertz, but hey, that does the job too.
Right.
I loaded a bunch of them. Matter of fact, I put 3 of them today, and I'm gonna put 2 more again tomorrow on eBay, but one of them's already sold already. So they're Futaba Type 9, Futaba Cap, whatever, Type 9, whatever, 9-channel transmitter, 75 megahertz with a 8-channel receiver. I told people I was going to do it. Some people must have been waiting on eBay because the moment I put on, the first one sold in like less than a minute.
Wow.
Like gone. I thought there was an error when I listed it, and then I had to go into the things. It sold already? I'm like, what? So I have some stalkers, I guess, that look at me or something like that. But,
Well, when you have something at 75 megahertz, you know, you got people looking for that.
oh yeah, I got, like I said, okay. I don't advertise on here hardly at all, or on Bob's site, because that's Bob's site, not mine. I mean, I've sold about of new radios. The new radios, I sold about 57 of those. Complete new sets, 75 megahertz, everything, 9-channel, everything brand new. I sold them. I brought them over from Europe, and these old ones, the used ones, they're just used ones that I had of Futaba, 9 cat ones that I sent the receivers and the modules for them out to RCSubGuy, and he retuned them. And I had them laying around. People said, "Where are you going to finally sell them? When are you going to finally sell them?" I said, "Fine, I'm going to sell them." So I put them out,
Yeah,
unfortunately- go ahead.
I used Tony at Radio South for a couple things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when I see those radios go for sale, it's like I don't have no funds at that time to buy the radio. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, that's one thing that the new radios were expensive. And then I even showed people who bought them, look, this is what I paid. Here's the actual receipts of all the stuff. Because those sold for between $600 and $700
What?
for the radios, the radio sets, $600 and $700.
Woo.
That's how much it cost, because you have to buy them, and unfortunately, Germany, the company does not ship to the U.S. So then I have to pay them to ship it to a reshipper company in Germany, and then that reshipper company then ships it to the U.S. Then I have to pay them, and then I have to pay a fee for them to reship it, and I can only use the transmitter from the set. That's all. I can only use a transmitter. I can't use the module. I can't use the receiver because Radio South refuses to retune they won't retune them. So I have to go out and buy brand new modules from Hong Kong and receivers from Japan, bring them to the US. And if they're not 75, then I have to send those out to Radio South to get retuned, and then I have to pay for all that stuff, and because I had a guy upset that I was charging so much, and I brought out every single receipt. I said, look, here's all the cost. I'm only making $50 on the radio, because I told people I do this to help people, and he didn't believe me. And I said, I showed him all. He apologized to me, but I was like, I should be charging more, but I don't.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. But a lot of so I'll let you go then.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Get going for soon. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
All right, later, everybody.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right.
Until
Good
next time.
Hey, Ken, I'm
Adios.
going to send you an email later. this week about something then, okay?
Okay,
It's about the Marlin.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Look
Okay,
forward to it. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
bye-bye.
All right.